Welcome back already to another episode of Dreads TV. This episode I'm going to be talking about Hanwha's most recent game. That is the game on Sunday, the 8-7 loss to Kia. Before I get into the game though, I want to ask you one question. If Hanwha was given 3 more outs, do you think they would have won the game? So take your time, think about it. Now, if you need more time, just hit pause, but 3, 2, 1, okay. Now, if you said no, close this video. It's not for you. You wouldn't enjoy it. If you did say yes, keep watching. Okay, background on this game. Coming into this game, Hanwha was heavily favored. Now, I don't gamble on, I don't bet, I don't even know where people bet on KBO. But a lot of people came into the stream early and were trying to find out why Hanwha was so favored against the number 1 team. Well, simple. Weiss was on the mound. Weiss has pitched really well. If his defense was a little bit better, he would be even better. Then, on top of that, Hanwha had all of their starters, and there was no Sunday rest days for any of the players. Their normal starting lineup was who they were going with for this Sunday. Also, their bullpen was rested. Their big 3 guys in the bullpen, Iminu, Han Seung-hyuk, and while Ju Hyun-sang did pitch the day before, he only threw 6 pitches, and that's the only time he's pitched all day, plus the Monday off day made it so that it was basically like he didn't pitch. With Weiss going 6+ innings every single outing, that leaves your 3 big guys for the bullpen, the 7, 8, 9, and Hanwha should be favored. Then you look at the Kia side. Wang Dong-ha was on the mound. He lost his spot in the starting rotation earlier in the month. In the 2 games he's pitched against Hanwha, he had an ERA of over 8. He was 0-1. Then you also add in the fact that 3 of the starters for Kia weren't in the lineup. Kim Dong-young, Park Chan-ho, and Kim Tae-gun weren't in their starting lineup, and Hanwha should have easily won. But we know that didn't happen. So why? Why did Hanwha lose? Let's get into it. So let's start off at the bottom of the 6th. This is where the action kind of starts going for the game. Hanwha is down 5-3 coming into this inning. They have runners on first and second. Lee Do-yoon comes up, pulls the bunt back, actually literally throws the bat at the ball. Single, Jang Jin-hyuk comes home to score, makes it 5-4. That brings up Choi Jae-hoon. So you have runners on first and second. Choi Jae-hoon is up to bat. Bunting the runners over, going from first and second with no outs to second and third with 1 out, raises your chance of scoring 1 or more runs by 4%, from 64% to 68%, which is good, except Hanwha is down 1 run, which means they need 2 runs. This isn't soccer. We don't play for ties in baseball. You play to win the game. So bunting them over changes your chances of scoring 2 or more runs from 59% to 59%. It doesn't change your ability to score. What it does do is it gives up an out for no change. This is what I keep talking about. Add into the fact that the pitcher had just given up a single, and Choi Jae-hoon hits 270 against lefties. This lefty, when they face righties, they're hitting over 300 against this lefty. So there's no reason to bunt here. Choi Jae-hoon does get the bunt down, barely. It almost ended up in a triple play, but moves the runners over. Then comes on Kim In-won, who hits a 3-run homer, making the bunts absolutely useless. Sure, he could have struck out, would have been the same 3-run homer. He could have hit into a double play, sure, but you can't play the game only working with that outcome. He could have singled, he could have doubled, he could have hit a home run. Who knows? Maybe Choi Jae-hoon could have hit a triple. Okay? And then Kim In-won is still hitting a home run, but now Hanwha's up 2 runs. So go to the bottom of the next inning, bottom of the 7th. Now we have a new pitcher comes in and he throws 4 straight balls and walks a batter. Now you have a runner on first with no outs, and Jang Jin-hyuk comes up. So what do? They decide to bunt. They're going to give the pitcher, who hasn't even thrown a strike yet, a free out. Bunting a runner over from first with no outs or any time is awful baseball. The reason why it's awful baseball is because you drop your winning percent or your chance to score a run, 1 or more runs, from 43% down to 41%. So you drop your percentage of your ability to score a run down 2%, and you give up an out. Now Hanwha's up 1 run at this point, so bunting over to get 1 run doesn't really make a lot of sense. What you want to do is you need a big inning, put yourself up by 5 so that you're protected against a grand slam. So your chances of scoring 2 or more runs by bunting that runner over goes from 36% down to 16% to score 2 or more runs by bunting that guy over. Then on top of that, you bunt him over, Choi In-sung strikes out, then Lee Do-yoon walks, means the bunt is absolutely useless and you gave up an out. Then we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, okay? So you have a leadoff single by Kim In-won. Okay? New pitcher comes in, throws 1 pitch, it is hammered to right field, single. So what do? You decide to bunt the guy over to first. Any manager who tries this strategy of bunting a runner from first to second does not belong in a dugout. They have no idea what they're doing. They should be carried out of the dugouts, set outside, and never allowed inside a baseball stadium again. It is awful, awful, awful strategy. This one is even worse because Wang Young-mook is hitting over 300. Not only is he hitting over 300, he's hitting 385 in the 8th inning. To make matters worse, the guy behind him is Lee Sang-hyuk, who had to take over for Peraza. Now, nothing against Lee Sang-hyuk, but he has 1 career hit. You're giving up an out with Wang Young-mook, who's one of your best hitters, and then expecting a hit from a guy that has 1 career hit. Because if you move him to second, you still need a hit to score a run. Wang Young-mook gets the bunt down, moves the runner over, then Lee Sang-hyuk strikes out. Now you've got 2 outs, and then Kim Tae-yeon walks, meaning, once again, the out was given up for nothing. It was a useless bunt that meant nothing except giving away a run. Now, if you go and think about that, all of that led up to the top of the 9th. 3-run shot takes the lead. I'm not even going to talk about the bottom of the 9th with the managing decisions because there's no logic behind them whatsoever. So if you remember back, I asked you at the very beginning, if Hanwha was given 3 more outs, would they have won this game? Well, they gave up 3 outs for nothing to actually lower their chances of winning and lower their chances of scoring runs. So would they have won if they would have had those 3 extra outs to actually try to score some runs? Who knows? But one thing I do know is that if it doesn't matter who's in that dugout, if they continue to play these stupid strategies that are outdated and not built for this team, because you can't bunt a guy over and then expect another guy to get hit when you have a bunch of 250 guys that strike out all the time. That's not the way this team is built. That's not the way baseball is anymore. It doesn't matter if it's a KBO or MLB. the game is different. And until you can get a manager in the dugout that will not only think about the players, but will also think about the numbers and how they work together, Hanwha will continue to suck.